That is great, Ed. Hey, ho. Now you're playing with the toys. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Well, somebody has to.
All right.
Welcome. February 2016.
February 2016.
4 years after the
4
end
years
of the
after
world.
the end of the world.
God, and you feel comfortable that way? For Classic Series, this is my guest host, Paul Kalemkiarian, and probably his last time here because we're getting kind of tired of the guy. Actually, I did look him up, and it was really interesting. It was Beau Tour of BV Cabernet Sauvignon.
Come on, really?
It was a red, yeah. It was
Wow.
a 73 vintage. It was in 76. And I'm thinking, gosh, I think that was like the first time they came out with the Beau Tour, which was the
around
lower
that
end,
time, right.
the lower end, still Napa Valley Cabernet, but they had the
Excuse me.
BV Private Reserve was the high end, and then they
George
had
Latour.
the George Latour. Then they had the Rutherford, which was one of the best buys in Cabernet ever.
But the Beau Tour is it still Napa? It's probably not anymore. It's probably California.
Probably Chile,
But it's like everywhere, right? It's like the.
I don't honestly. I don't think I see it as much as I used to. And the white was kind of interesting. It was from Parle, which South African co-op.
Yeah.
And all he said was Parle Late Harvest. And I said, late harvest what? And then
Parle.
you read through it, and it's Riesling. It was a late harvest Riesling.
P-A-A-R-L.
Yeah, P-A-A-R-L.
Yeah, I remember the wine.
That was before. We used to get a lot of South African wines here, and then apartheid cut them off for like 20 years. And they just started coming back about 20 years ago.
I was thinking maybe that bottle was here from that find that we had. But anyway, so our friends from this is that importer. It's
This was a nice bottle of wine.
Marin. Okay, now this is not to be confused with your friend Alden Marin.
All right, that's true.
But it's the same guy. It's the same. He gets to say, and I got this bottle and I go, there's no vintage on here, and we tasted the 14,
Right.
and then I'm looking at the back and all I see is Spanish, and I'm thinking, how did that get through customs? And then I see that they've translated, so it's a pretty indigenous bottle of Garnacha from Cariña in Spain. But it's very interesting to me that these guys like to time the dock arrival to which scares me to death because you never know what's going to happen at the dock.
That's true. You could have a strike. You could be up a creek.
Walter, at the guy that made a couple of wines last month or this month.
Let me help you out here.
He used to show me at his import company because he does a lot of cheeses the styrofoam pack for his real buffalo mozzarella. I mean, from buffalo's milk, right?
Yeah.
And there'd be a big hole in the middle of the styrofoam box, and there'd be 2 or 3 packs missing. Because the dock guys would punch the hole in the thing and have this wonderful lunch with authentic
Yeah, did they have the tomatoes and the basil to go with it to make a caprese salad?
So I'm always worried about guys that deliver wines, so close to just in time, because that one time, too, we had that South African Chenin Blanc at the old building, and the guy didn't palletize it.
Oh, yeah, and it was a mess.
It had crushed the whole bottom row.
Yeah, and
what do you do?
a lot of them were wet, and but I remember that wine very well. It was such a delicious wine.
It's a great wine.
I sold a ton of it with these god awful labels
Yeah,
on
that
them.
was your friend Nico.
Nobody cared because
Yeah.
the wine was so good.
was
Anyway,
Nico's.
can we get back to Gordo?
Yeah, so now
We start
here's
with
a
Gordo.
wine lance. I taste the wine. I go, this is really good. But what happens when a wine travels? That fruit. If you've got a little fruit bump in the middle of the wine, normally it kind of dips during travel and then it kind of comes back. And this has come back already. It's only been here about a week and a half. I think it's great.
This is a fabulous wine. It's, Grenache and Verdeo and Grenache Blanc, the white from Spain. I almost never can find one I don't love.
This is
Not
great.
just like, but love. I mean, this is great. Do you know what El Gordo means in Spanish?
Fat.
Yeah. I mean, and it's this fat guy on the. I don't know if that's a good image or not, but regardless.
He's probably like the mafia leader in this region of Spain.
Hey, don't you take away the mafia from where it
they
comes
call
from.
him Gordo, man. I'm a
That's
Gordo.
but that's our thing here in Sicily,
Yeah, and you're, don't get in, don't even think you're a mafia. But this is, there's a lot of dark fruit in here, and there's not that much gaminess from.
But it's got really nice, a little tannin, some nice acidity. Great bottle of wine. I mean, $16 on the shelf, $7.99 reorder price, unbelievable.
I can tell you that has changed since it landed for the better.
So have you,
So seriously,
since you landed.
that would be that's a 95 for me.
I'm easily on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a go. Here we go. All right, Ed.
Get your wine out of here.
What do we got?
Okay, these are from our boys over at O'Neill, Tipping Point.
So I sent this, somebody, hey, this is an amazing thing. There's a charity event this weekend, and they actually are paying me for their wine. They're not asking me to donate it, which is a shock, but I sent them a whole bunch of Chardonnays and a whole bunch of Cabs to choose from, and they ended up choosing the Kimmel Cab, and I gave them wines that were much more money.
Cab or Merlot?
Cab.
Oh.
And I gave them the 3 or 4 Chardonnays, and they picked this Tipping Point as what they wanted to pour. And this is a very, they're raising a lot of money at this event. And whenever they do that, these charity things, they want wines that people feel like, well, I got my $250 worth of food out of it.
Oh, sure.
And this is what they chose.
This is a really nice kind of balance between the non-oak and the over-oak Chardonnays. I mean, there's still oak in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gives it that creamy vanilla pudding component, but it's not overdone, and...
the thing is, it's
really
got
nice acidity, too.
It's got great acidity, and you think there's sugar in it, but it's not. It's this wonderful fruit component.
No,
It's from the oak.
And $19.99 on the shelf, $6.99 a reorder price, and I'm doing a $94. I think this is about my limit in terms of wood in a wine.
$6.99, but it's barrel fermented. Right?
Well, yeah, but all that says is barrel fermented.
That's expensive to do, right? They got 60-gallon barrels.
That's
right?
absolutely true. Actually,
This is a 96 for me. I like this one a lot. You don't like Chardonnay.
I'm kind of warming up to it. I mean, I opened last night one of your dad's favorite wines that he introduced me to, Rouy Blanc, from Olivier Leflevre.
Yeah, we featured that.
Drouin used to make absolutely one of the best Rouy Blancs. They still do, actually.
I remember this nose. This nose is so classic. I remember it. This is a classic, not only Merlot, California Merlot, but an Oak Grove nose. Jeez. This is the kind of wine when you smell it, you go, man, I gotta see what this tastes like. It's just got such interesting.
I am amazed at how they just continue to knock wines out like this, especially their Merlot. Considering how expensive Merlot is in terms of the grapes, and
so funny.
$20 on the shelf, $7.99 on a reorder price. I got to go to a 95 again. I mean, that one.
Because it's really one of these intriguing noses.
It has complexity in the nose. It's got a lot of complexity. There's there's not just berries, but there's some earth, there's some licorice, there's some leather, there's spice, but it's all held in check. It's all nicely done all the way through. I mean, really amazing. I'm going to go to a 96 now. I just changed my mind.
Well, I'm not that fickle, Ed. I'm not going to just change my mind in the middle of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I sort of know what you're saying.
So it looks like I got the.
You got the what? Oh, this is good. I like this wine too. I remember tasting it. It was delicious. These Argentinian and Chilean Sauvignon Blancs.
This is great. I forgot the package. It's really a nice package. Excuse me, went down the wrong throat. How many throats do you have, Ed?
Well, one really, but you got 2 tubes.
More than 100-year-old vine. It's 2015 already.
Well, yeah, because it's 6 months ahead of us. So they're about ready to pick next month. This is really.
It's funny. Really I get 2 noses. I get that grassy Argentinian, Chilean. Then I get this sort of melon undertone.
Absolutely.
More California style underneath it.
Wow, melon, white peach. Nectarines, it's a fruit basket. I love this wine. I really do.
It's a cornucopia of fruit, Ed.
Wow, cornucopia. That's a pretty word for you. $18.99 on the shelf, $6.99 reorder price, and I'm going to 97. I could drink this all day long.
I love the color too.
Everything's just perfect about this wine. It almost has a vanilla sort of component to it, but not oak.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in this. Interesting to see how it's going to age. It's still very young.
Well, it's got fruit to lose. It's got a lot of what we call baby fat. Yeah, we're going back to El Gordo, which doesn't look like baby.
That's not baby fat anymore.
No. Anyway, so that's our show for today for the Classic Series. Gosh, already February 2016. It's our 1,000th show,
Yeah. Actually, we have 1,000-something videos online. You know that?
No, really?
Yeah, because we cut this one by 4, so that's sort of.
Oh yeah, well that's a lot.
Still a lot.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Considering it, if you go back to some of the real old ones and you look at the production value,
I would rather not.
Pretty funny.
When did you start doing the podcast? I don't remember.
A long time ago. It's been
10 years?
I easily. Chris was still here. We used to do them in the warehouse.
Wow. Yeah.
The very first one I did, now this is the strangest thing. The very first one I did, you weren't around. I did it in the store. I had to set the whole camera up. And oddly, it was a Slovenian winemaker. The wines were for Slovenia.
Oh, geez.
Now, what are the odds of the first podcast we ever do interview a winemaker? This is the winemaker ones. Was a Slovenian guy, and then the poor kid who didn't speak very good English. He emailed later and asked me to pull it down because he didn't like the way he sounded.
Oh.
To his
Well,
friends.
did you do it?
No, it's still there.
Well, because I got about a dozen of them, I can tell you.
Yeah, well, let's pull those down. Cheers.